My friends, this is a watch that I have wanted for ages. What I have on my wrist right now, and I've been enjoying for quite some time, is the Mobvoi Ticwatch Pro. And they have sponsored this video so that we can take a look at this watch and talk about its benefits, what it has going on, and why you might want to actually consider picking one up, because I have absolutely loved it. It has solved the biggest issue that I've had with wearables in any smartwatch that I've had, which I've run the gamut of all of the smartwatches that you picked up, from first generation Android ones to all of the Apple watches. I've experienced them and they've all fallen short except for the Ticwatch Pro. So they sponsored this video and we're gonna be talking about it, but I want to also preface this by saying that they are gonna be running a Amazon Prime sale tomorrow on July 15th, where you can get 30% off the Ticwatch Pro. So in case you're interested, we'll leave a link in the video description. Head on over to Amazon to save 30% on this beefy boy. I love it so much. So let's go ahead and talk about what makes this watch so different, because it looks like it's just a large, typical smartwatch. It has a large nylon and glass fiber body. The strap is actually really interesting because it's made out of leather and silicone, so it has a leather look to it, but then it has the sporty band silicone feel, which actually works really great when it comes to just working out with this thing. It doesn't actually chafe that much, and then you also have the great look of leather on the outside. And then if you don't like the included watch band, they actually do have some extra watch bands that you can pick up on their website in case those are more your flavor. But I actually really love the standard watch band. But let's talk about the thing that makes this watch fantastic, which is its 1.4-inch display. Actually, sorry, it's displays. Yes, my friends, you've heard me right. This Ticwatch Pro has two displays to it. It has a top-level FSTN LCD display for displaying basic things such as the time, the date, the amount of steps you've taken, and the battery life. So it's a basic fitness tracker in this mode, but then when you want to actually use it as a smartwatch, it has a 400 by 400 pixel OLED display, which is actually then functional as a typical Wear OS smartwatch. So it has all of the benefits of the Google Play Store, which includes all of the watch faces that you could possibly want, all of the Google Fit stuff, everything that you could possibly want from the Google Play Store. You're not dealing with any proprietary OS here, and you get the benefit of having two displays. And you might be wondering, why would that matter? And the biggest reason, my friends, is battery life. My typical battery usage is about 5 days on this smartwatch, which is a mixture of the actual OLED panel for the regular smartwatch, and then combining that with what Mobvoi calls the essential mode, which is just basically the LCD display being on, keeping track of the basic things that you want on this watch, and mixing those two together, I get 5 days without having to charge. That has been the bane of my existence for every single wearable I've ever owned. I could maybe squeeze out 2.5 days on most smartwatches if I was really conservative with my use, because I'm a power user. I like to make sure all of the features are on. I like to make sure it's connected to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as much as possible. I like to make sure that it's always tracking my heart rate. I like to wear them at night for sleep tracking. I basically have this watch on 24/7, and that leads to diminished battery life. The way that I've been able to use this watch is by setting it to essential mode while I'm at my desk, when I know that I'm gonna have access to my phone and notifications, as well as at night where I don't need access to my phone. That way it retains battery, but then when I'm actually out and about, I convert it back to the smartwatch mode and I have full usage of it alerting me to notifications. And if you want to just use it in essential mode as just a basic fitness tracker, other reviewers, I haven't had it this long, other reviewers have found that they've gotten 28 days out of the 415 milliamp hour battery on this thing. 28 days for a single charge. That is fantastic. And you still get to use it as a watch even if the battery dies. If it dies as a smartwatch, it converts over to essential mode so you don't lose functionality of the thing on your wrist. It solves the basic issues that I've always had with smartwatches. And then on top of that, it has all of the specs that you would expect. It's got GPS, it has an IP68 water and dust rating, although Mobvoi doesn't recommend that you swim in pools with it. You can submerge it in a little bit of water and be fine. It has NFC, Bluetooth 4.2, and Wi-Fi Wi-Fi in, as well as a heart rate monitor, which I alluded to earlier. And then it's all powered by the Snapdragon Wear 2100. On top of that, it's also got 2 physical buttons, which allow you to have a variety of different uses. A single press on the top one gives you the app list. Holding the top button down then gives you access to Google Assistant. Tapping the bottom one gives you an instant access to a specific app, which is by default the Mobvoi Health app. However, you can customize it to whatever you want. Then if you long press the bottom button, you then have access to the power menu. I briefly mentioned Mobvoi Health. The Ticwatch does come included with Mobvoi's own health and fitness tracking software for heart rate, as well as just step counting and everything that you could want on that front. But then you also have access to all of the Google Play Store apps as well, thanks to it being Wear OS. But honestly, the Ticwatch Pro has actually marked all of the boxes in what I could want for a sport device, a fitness tracker, as well as a smartwatch, and just a basic watch altogether. It solves all of the needs that I've ever had with a smartwatch, and it makes sure that even if I exhaust the battery by going too hard as a power user, I then have plenty of time left over to just make sure that I have the time of day. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, tomorrow Mobvoi is going to be having a 30% off sale for Amazon Prime Day. You can check that out at the link in the video description. It's normally $250, but tomorrow you get 30% off. And I did want a quick mention, if you would want a 4G LTE version, Mobvoi also has a 4G version of the Ticwatch Pro, which you can also check out at the link in the video description. So that's the end of this sponsored showcase of the Ticwatch Pro. Big thanks to Mobvoi for sending it over, as well as sponsoring the video. Again, check out the link in the video description to save 30% off tomorrow on Amazon Prime Day, July 15th. I absolutely love this watch. 5 days battery life. Easy peasy. That means I have to charge it once or twice a week, depending on how those days fall. It's phenomenal. I love this thing. So anyways, check that out below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content. I'm Brett with the UFD Tech Channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see your smiling face again in the next video. Love you too.